Rapper and Big 3 founder Ice Cube's tour bus was firebombed in Portland after a performance at the Moda Center. People on social media are alleging that Antifa, a left-wing anti-fascist group, was involved, as they may have mistook the Ice Cube name on the tour bus for ICE, the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Some also speculate that it was a warning to him for speaking out against Hollywood and the music industry.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So,
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
Well, I think Hollywood has two agendas. It's profit, but it's also propaganda.
Really? Tell me more.
Yeah, well, I think they want to influence society, with these movies, and sometimes that's more important than making the money. Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are.
It seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing. So ever since I put out the contract with Black America, they've been fucking with me. I came up with the contract with Black America, and I didn't run to go work with any campaign. Both campaigns contacted me. Both campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have. Do you mind talking to us about it? And that's what I did. So I didn't run to nobody. And so that was real misleading to me.
I didn't say you ran to anybody. I said that you had taken a pivot.
Well, you said I ran over to the Trump team instead of the Biden team. That's just not true.
Well, but you are working with the Trump team instead of the Biden team, and people are giving you heat for it. What do you say to them?
Well, I'm willing to work with both teams, but I'm just working with whoever is willing to work with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, I expect that. I've been working with, on the Big 3 for a long time, and you know how they've been fucking with me with that. I done made it, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. The NBA been fucking with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA? Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. You never know which, God, is being served here, which master is being served here, so to speak, sometimes when you're making a movie, because, certain things are done purely for the propaganda of it.
Why do you think, I'm assuming not everyone in Hollywood is into propaganda, but it seems like some movies are. Why do you think a part of Hollywood wants to project propaganda so much and serve an agenda versus just make great art?
I think movie companies, for the most part, a lot of them started and were
owned by the same people who want to engineer society anyway. You know, it's just part of their portfolio. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, you know, they ain't fucking with us. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these motherfuckers. So we don't need them, you don't need them, you know? So what am I gonna do to deal with these motherfucking gatekeepers? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on a Fuck the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm gonna go talk to everybody, you know, and get a chance to get my message out to the people.
Why do you think a part of Hollywood wants to project propaganda so much and serve an agenda versus just make great art?
I mean, I think movie companies, you know, for the most part, a lot of them started and were owned by the same people who want to engineer society anyway. You know, it's just part of their portfolio. You know, some of these, you know, folks are so rich, Hollywood's a toy. Just like guys that own a football team, you know, some of them, the team is the family legacy, you know, maybe like the Cowboys, you know, but to some, you know, maybe the Rams, you know, this guy who, I don't know if he owned Home Depot or whatever else, it's probably a toy, you know? So I just think, you know, the people who have the ultimate say are people who engineer society in other ways anyway, whether it's, you know, banking or school, medicine, you know, hospitals, colleges, you know, they want people to think a certain way anyway. And these are the same people who own studios. So that's how that junk gets made. Be able to let people hear from me, you know, and you know, you might agree, you might not, but the important thing is, you know, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee. Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, you know, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.